She was the spark that burned down the Shang dynasty. A king built lakes of wine and forests of meat, just to please her. She was the symbol of Tang dynasty's downfall. An emperor sent fresh lychees across thousands of miles, only for her smile. She was the nightmare of Japan's Heian court. The imperial army marched by the thousands, just to hunt her down. Daji. Yan Guifei. Tamamo-no-Mae. 3 names. 3 eras. 3 nations on the brink of collapse. They were beauties. They were disasters. They were legends. Ancient texts and old folklore whisper the same possibility. They might not be 3 women at all, but one immortal soul. A 9-tailed fox. Obsessed with power. Reborn again and again. Changing names, changing faces. But always playing the same endless game. Hi everyone, welcome back to Shirley's Strange Tales. Today, we're peeling back the fog of history, connecting Chinese and Japanese legends, and tracing one fox spirit's 1,000-year journey. Our story begins over 3,000 years ago, at the end of China's Shang dynasty. Heaven had already lost patience with King Zhou of Shang. When he wrote obscene poems in the shrine of the goddess Nuwa, the gods decided it was time for the dynasty to fall. So Nuwa summoned 3 spirits. A 9-tailed fox, a 9-headed pheasant demon, and a jade pipa spirit. She gave them one dangerous mission. Enter the palace. Corrupt the king. End the Shang dynasty. The 9-tailed fox took human form, and became the stunning beauty known as Daji. At first, she was simply completing a task. She whispered lies. She eliminated loyal ministers. One by one, men like Mei Bo and Du Yuanxian fell to her schemes. But something new, something intoxicating, started growing inside her. When she saw a king kill his most trusted ministers. Just because she frowned. When she realized a single whisper on the pillow could change national policy. When she noticed the entire empire slowed down. Simply because she wanted the king to stay in bed. She tasted something stronger than spiritual energy. Power. This wasn't seduction anymore. It was absolute control. The brutal bronze toaster punishment she invented wasn't just cruelty. It was a test. A show of how deeply fear and desire tied the court to her will. The pleasure palace she built, the Deer Terrace, wasn't just for luxury. It was her private island of power, cut off from the rest of the world. In that moment, the 9-tailed fox awakened. She discovered that toppling a kingdom wasn't a chore. It was exquisite. But destiny cannot be avoided. The Zhou army attacked, and the Shang Empire fell in flames. Daji's body was destroyed by Jianxia's celestial blade. But for her, that death was only graduation. A soul addicted to power does not rest. She simply turned her gaze toward the next great empire. The story fast-forwards to the 8th century, the golden age of the Tang dynasty. Here, the fox is reborn as Yang Yuhuan, the woman we know as Yang Guifei. This time, she didn't possess anyone. She reincarnated as a human. A woman born breathtakingly beautiful. She first married Prince Shou, then somehow became the beloved consort of Emperor Xuanzong himself. Her charm was legendary. Poets wrote, "One glance, and all the palace beauties lose their color." Unlike Daji, she didn't need torture or fear. Her power came from something softer, something more invisible. The emperor adored her beyond reason. Her brother became prime minister. Her sisters were given titles and wealth. The entire Yang family rose with her. And Xuanzong? He stopped attending court early. He spent his days lost in her warmth and perfume. When she wanted lychees, the empire mobilized its fastest couriers to bring the fruit from the far south to the capital. Just before it spoiled, her preferences became national priorities. This kind of influence, ruling without ruling, was pure power. But no empire stays golden forever. When General and Lushan rebelled, the Tang dynasty shook. Soldiers mutinied. They demanded Yang Guifei's death. On the road to escape, at a place called Moe Post, the emperor chose his empire over his beloved. A length of white silk ended her life. Or, did it? Legends say otherwise. Some Taoists claimed they saw a fox aura around her. Others insisted the body at Moe was a double, and the Real Yang Guifei escaped with Japanese envoys and fled across the sea for a nine-tailed fox. Faking a death and switching identities is child's play. When the game gets too risky, the smartest player simply switches servers. And the hottest new server at the time was Japan. And so the fox spirit traveled with the returning ships of Japan's envoys. More experienced, more strategic, more ambitious than ever. In the Heian era, she reappeared as Tamamo-no-Mae, a woman of dazzling beauty and extraordinary intelligence. She read Chinese classics. She wrote poetry. She charmed every scholar and minister. And soon, she became Emperor Toba's favorite consort. But this time, influence wasn't enough. Family power wasn't enough. She wanted something bigger. She wanted the throne itself. Soon, the emperor fell mysteriously ill. The entire court trembled. Japan's greatest onmyoji, Abe no Yazunari, was called to investigate. Through divination, he discovered the terrible truth. The emperor's beloved consort was a nine-tailed fox in disguise. When confronted with sacred spells, Tamamo-no-Mae could no longer hide. She revealed her true form, a massive, glowing fox with 9 swirling tails. Chaos erupted. She fled Kyoto, and the court sent an army of 80,000 to hunt her down. Samurai, onmyoji, the strongest warriors of the empire. This was not a monster hunt. This was a national war. The fox unleashed fire, illusions, and deadly magic. Many died. But finally, a warrior named Miyurinosuke fired a fatal arrow. With the help of powerful sealing spells, the fox fell. But her hatred was too strong to vanish. Her body transformed into a gigantic cursed stone, the killing stone. Any creature that touched it died instantly. It was her final declaration to the world. Even if her body falls, her hunger for power will never fade. She will wait. Wait for rebirth. Wait for her next move. In this eternal game, one soul, 3 legends. From Daji's awakening, to Yang Guifei's enchantment, to Tamamo-no-Mae's final battle. These aren't 3 separate myths. They're the evolution of one unstoppable desire. A 1,000-year resume of a collector of power. She used empires as chessboards, kings as her pieces, and with every lifetime, she pushed the limits of what she could control. Perhaps these legends survived because deep inside, humans know this truth. A desire this ancient, this pure, this ruthless, is no longer human. It belongs to a demon soul. A question for you. So here's the scary thought. If the game isn't over yet, where do you think her 4th reincarnation will appear? And what identity will she use to chase her eternal dream of power? Leave your bold guesses in the comments. That's all for today's episode of Shirley's Strange Tales. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.